Disgusting! Oh my God, June! Oh!
Absolutely devastating.
He's actually in a really good spot for his teammates to watch over him and give him assistance, but no one really watching the main run-up. And oh, what a trophy system collateral kill!
Oh, they gotta get on the point. They gotta get on the point. They're gonna run out of time. Can they contest? They are with 1.4 seconds. And Phil is going to go down. We are going to be seeing them now. No, out of the point, and Wave Runners by the skin of their teeth. They're going to be able to hold on.
Can he play from horse? Oh! Holy! He's going to get another one.
As Hoy will quick scope heavy.
Not necessarily translate to control the bottom flank, as Legacy just being an absolute nuisance here with his team just taking such a back control here.
Kill is gonna get hustled down to 2v2. They should have had the man up, and now Austin's gonna try to get one. He's gonna look for the double, can't quite get it. Zuxium, the last man alive, and now it's Zuxium trying to finish off the team. He's gonna stun him there. C1, one's gonna push out, it's gonna get taken out. Zuxium can finish it right here. 7 points left. Taking out another one more pushes out. He's gonna get taken out by a teammate, and that's gonna be Hype eSports taking map number 1.
I see it now, I see it now.
Hello and welcome, Call of Duty fans. We are here live with the K7 League's preseason hype battle. I'm FBI Tugboat over here on the left. Got my man Brett here. Brett, how are we doing today?
Doing all right, man. Looking forward to tonight. Second hype battle that I'm going to be doing with K7, so definitely looking forward to it. And yeah, should be a good night.
Absolutely. What we got here today for the hype battle is Hyped Esports. Doesn't that make sense? Taking on Valiant Gaming, excuse me. This will be a best of 5, of course. Run through maps later, but first we got to talk about the good people and the good organizations that do make this possible. First and foremost, our producer. Yes, that's heroism, producing away, making our jobs as casters just so much easier, and we do appreciate that. GitGudHosts as well, providing those neutral hosts for this league and many more online for that fair price. They're dedicated hosts. They're, of course, located next to the CDL servers, so you get that best neutral latency. Rogue Energy as well, whipping up some of the best energy powders that you can mix with water, making your own home. How awesome is that? Innovated Gear as well, that's official partner for apparel for K7. There's Season 3 swag coming on soon. You can check out over there on Twitter and our website. Going to figure out what more is coming. FORUMA Visuals as well. FORUMA Visuals coming through with that quality graphic design for the K7. They've sponsored some other stuff later too. We'll talk more about that a little bit later. DropShot as well, providing that crucial drop shot data. All the analytics and whatnot, big numbers. Numbers tell a story here, Brett. Lastly, though, Gamers Resort, making the world a better place actively, working with gamers struggling with mental illnesses and other things like that, we do appreciate them. Now, I'm here on the left. You can tell that my mouth is not moving. What I'll tell you guys, I'll tell you what happened, but I'm not going to show you. Essentially, I got an eyelash that's infected, so it does not look good. I was born ugly, Brett. Getting an infected eye is not doing me any favors.
You don't think it has that effect where you get so ugly you actually become beautiful?
Oh, the Steve Buscemi effect. Yes, I've heard of this.
Not you though.
Not I, at least not yet. I think I would have to get about 10 more folds in my face to get anywhere close to Steve Buscemi effect. Yes, but for now, you get this awesome picture of me doing a bit on a PUBG cast like a year and a half ago. Oh well, getting into these though. Hyped Esports, Valiant Gaming. Valiant Gaming made up of Edgar, the Joke, Unstable, Pure, Deadly Taps, as well as Blitzer coming through as the sub. Not sure if we'll see them today. Now, looking here at Hyped Esports next, excuse me. Your GF's Warzone duo, henceforth referred to as GF Duo, probably. Nope. That was on what his Twitter is. Excuse me. So I've been debated. Oni198 being the captain here. Relidify, Rencities, excuse me, and Diggs. Yes, that's Diggsy rounding out there for the Hyped Esports squad.
Just gonna tell you right now, I'm probably gonna mess up a lot of names tonight.
That's fair. I'm terrible with names myself. I'm terrible with my names myself. So, hey, between the two of us, let's just hope that anybody knows what we're talking about. Speaking of talking about, let's talk about these maps. Hit me with the info.
Yeah, so first map is going to be, of course, on Hardpoint. Will be Moscow for tonight. Definitely a pretty decent map. Going to be interesting to see how this ends up playing out because we are going to be adding some streaks. We'll talk about that maybe a little bit later. But second one is going to be on Raid S&D. Now, I personally have not seen a Raid S&D match or cast a Raid. I've seen a Raid S&D match. I haven't cast a Raid S&D match. So really looking forward to that. The last hype battle was supposed to get one in a game 5. I was cheated out of it. Purge Nation, thank you. But this time, hopefully we're going to be able to see it unless something crazy happens. But second map, Raid S&D. Third map, we're back over onto Raid. It's going to be Control this time. Again, have not cast this map on Control before. And I have heard some mixed feelings on it. Read some things on Twitter about people maybe not liking some of the placements of the points, but will be interesting to see how this one does end up playing out. Control, I think, in this game, fairly controversial. Very defender heavy. So we'll see how this ends up playing out. Moving on to map number 4. And yes, we are getting a map number 4. Damn it. I want one. We're going to go over to Garrison. Now, Garrison is probably my favorite map out of all of them. And it's kind of weird, but I have seen more just insanely cool hype moments happen on Garrison than I have on just about any map. So really looking forward to that one. And our fifth and final one is back over onto Moscow, where we're going to wrap everything back up. It's going to be on S&D. So definitely looking forward to that game 5, round 11. I don't know if you guys saw my predictions there on Twitter, but you asked who was going to win. I said nobody's going to win. What's going to happen is we're going to go to a game 5, round 11, 1 versus 1, and we're getting 2 scan and repairs.
Oh, there you go. So the true neutral. That's what our prediction is here. Yes, you can head on over to
hype match.
No, I'm with it. You can head on over there to BrettFX on Twitter, at BrettFX. You can check out some of what he's been talking about and what is to be expected. Now, other things to be expected, talking about the near future. The Season 3 League. Yes, we're doing things official over here. K7 is in the process of developing their league approval, yes, from Activision themselves. It's a big company. It's coronavirus time, quarantine, whatever else. They're taking a little bit of time. So our Season 3 probably not going to start till the beginning of February, just to give you guys a heads up on that. So what is the 12th today? Looking at least 18 more days, so like 2.5 weeks, something like this. Now, talking about the immediate future, though, Brett, talk to me about what we're going to be expecting as far as streaks.
Yeah, so we did mention a little bit earlier that streaks are going to be on the map, and I talked about how maybe that's going to be interesting there for Moscow, especially on some of those points for that hard point mode. They're going to be kind of open and really affected by it, but we're going to be allowing the artillery and the cruise missile that is going to be in play. Not really sure how it's going to be working out. Again, haven't seen any matches really with those streaks being utilized all that much. The last hype battle that we did have, they were allowed. We did have streaks on, just nobody was able to actually get them. And I think that may be somewhat of a problem that we see just because teams hadn't been used to, trying to utilize to get streaks. I think maybe within the next coming weeks, if those are still going to be allowed. I know some of the pro teams have been playing with them. If that is going to be something that we see in the near future, you're going to be seeing a radical change in the way teams play these maps. They're going to be having maybe their main ARs play for more passive than what they typically would, and try and get those streaks, try and get maybe those artilleries to clear out those points, get those cruise missiles to make sure that you can kill people off of respawn, that type of thing. So yeah, those streaks are going to be very, very influential if they can get them. And I do think that it is going to change how these teams end up playing the maps overall.
Absolutely. The end of the day, Moscow might be affected a little bit less than that kind of aerial hellfire, that death from above, the artillery, cruise missiles. Given that you're just spending a lot of time online, or not online, inside, excuse me. Spend a lot of
Spend way
time
too much
inside.
time
Maybe
online.
that's yeah, exactly. Yeah, spend a lot of time online, spend a lot of time inside. Maybe that's thematical for our past year here, Brett. But end of the day, there are definitely places within Moscow that you can get these within, but it's just going to be hard. Uh, yeah, again, to get that aerial, that aerial assault all the way
Well,
on in there.
I
At least for
don't really
Hardpoint, that's the
think
first though.
but I don't really think your aim with those streaks are going really to be getting kills so much as to clear the point off.
Yep.
So yeah, there's going to be places where they can kind of go to get away from those streaks, and that's what you want. You want to get them out of position. You want to make them move back and away, and give you that few extra seconds to maybe break a certain corner or break a certain head glitch that they've been really holding well, in order to get into that hard point, in order to initially make that attack. I think that's what you're going to be seeing those streaks used for, not necessarily to get those kills, but just to get people to move, to get away from their points, to get away from their power positions.
Yes, sir. What in the squad-based first-person shooters, your Overwatches and things like this, they call that what zoning. That's what they call it. Zoning issues, getting players simply not not knocking them out of the round, not necessarily going for kills, but simply taking positions. Yes, the hard point here from Moscow first will definitely be utilized there. Now, as far as the selection between those two, honestly, I'm way more about the artillery. Right, like it's pretty fast, but it's very obvious. Everybody knows where it's coming. Excuse me, and especially given what you just said, these players are going to know really where these artillery shells are going to come. They're going to be used a lot for points and whatnot. The simple fact of that, they get the call outs when they're called. They start coming down. You can get inside. You can get away if need be. If it's play your life situation, just stay there as long as you can. But otherwise, it will be let know. Now the cruise missile, on the other hand, though, it just seems like a little bit much to allow it, right?
I don't know. I mean, we've had
Just
cruise
opinion
missiles in
wise.
other games that did similar. They're basically the same thing. Like in Black Ops 4, I mean, it was basically doing the same thing as what this one is doing. But honestly, I think that both of these streaks, I don't even think really people are going to get up to the cruise missile all
Yeah.
that often.
Yeah.
So I don't really know how much it's going to really affect things. The artillery, I think will. I agree with you 100%. I think if we go back and we watch some like World War II gameplay and we see how the artillery is utilized there in that game, especially on Capture the Flag, which we're not going to see Capture the Flag, obviously, but it was very,
That'd be nice.
very, pivotal in those type of modes to where you could get those people to stop maybe a run or to close off a certain lane of the map in order to enclose into your point or give you that extra time. So yeah, I think the artillery is definitely going to be the more influential of the two. Cruise missile is more or less just going to be like, we're kicking your ass and we're going to rub it in your face type thing. I think that is really where the cruise missile is going to come into play. You're going to get a lot of people off respawn to basically just keep that pressure onto whatever it is that you're doing. And I gotta say, if we see that in Control, it's going to be scary. It's going to be very scary because as well as I do that defense, they have the upper hand, and we have seen some really nasty defensive spawn traps happen, especially on maps like Garrison, even on Moscow as well. But Garrison, it gets ugly, and if you add in streaks to that, it can get even uglier. I mean, talk about seeing all of a sudden you get a ping with the artillery, you throw in a cruise missile on top of that. I mean, it's just
There you go. That's my issue with it. That's my issue with it. The simple fact that I mean, like, yes, it may not happen that often, but you're getting, no, you don't get a UAV, but you do get that first pan over. Now, also, I am decrepitly old, Brett. You're gonna have to help me out with this one. The old cruise missiles, were they how they are now, where they come out and you can pre-fire a shot or two onto individuals if you see them before the cruise missile actually lands? That was not the case in the most recent game, correct?
Uh, yeah, in Black Ops 4, I believe you had at least, I think it was like one shot, and then you had the main rocket that came down.
Huh. Okay. Yeah. So Black Ops 4 2 games ago, but yes. So
Yeah.
maybe I just again decrepitly old. Must
Well,
have
I'm
just
going to be
remembered
honest with you.
that.
In Modern Warfare, I didn't really play Modern Warfare a whole lot.
That's reasonable.
I'm
Nobody's gonna
not
fault you
sure
for that
what
one
they
here,
had
Brad.
streak-wise in that game, to be completely honest with you there. But yeah, it was. Yeah, like I said, I don't think the streaks are going to be overpowered. It is going to change the way people play. People will have to
Mhm.
learn how to play around them. I do think that to an extent, they are going to be necessary for certain game modes, just like I think that smokes are going to be necessary for certain game modes like control. I really wish that they would fix the smokes in control, or I'm just in the game. The
Mhm.
one-way smokes is it's ridiculous, and it doesn't allow teams to really utilize them the
I'll
way they
say
should.
if it was utilized like that, if it was put out as this is some kind of like electric smoke or something like that, or smart smoke or something like that, right? The one way that you were saying, like if it was intended, I could dig that. But as it is, it's unintended, and it's one of those things that has developed as the game has gone on, and now we're here in this current state.
Yeah, but I think with a smoke situation, maybe a solution to that would be let them use thermals.
Let
So
them use
but right
thermals,
now
like
thermals
the
is G8 at
queen.
the
There you
moment. So
go.
it's one of those things where you start GAing and then stuff is breaking, and then you have counters to stuff that's G8, and it's just
Mhm.
nothing really works out. But there's certain things I think that would make these game modes a lot better. Streaks are going to be one of them. I think smokes getting fixed will be another one, and that's another thing that we got to mention as well, is that we are still under the same GAs that we always been. Respawns, no smokes. S&D, we are going to be seeing some smokes being used, but
Mhm.
um, even to that point though, in S&D, because I was watching some of the Challenger Cup stuff, and it's still just the one-way smoke is real, man, and it is
Mhm.
brutal to have to play against. And these teams, I don't really think it's fair too much to these players and these teams, especially because they learn how to play with them being as bad as they are. I mean, you learn, okay, this is a one-way smoke. So I know I got to throw this here because they're going to
Yep.
throw away one-way smoke there. So you're countering the smoke with a smoke to make sure that you can get that coverage. And they develop these whole strategies around a broken part of the game.
Yep.
It would really
Exactly.
be nice if Treyarch would get that fixed as soon as possible. I mean, I don't even know if
No,
they're still working on the game or not. I know Raven Software took over Warzone, but you would think that maybe we'd see some kind of update that's going to be going on to it.
yeah.
Hopefully, we do here very soon.
Fair, fair. I have never once claimed to be a game developer myself, so I try. And I don't think you're being too negative by any means, but I try not personally not to say, not. What I'm saying is I know nothing about software and hardware,
Mhm.
and so I can't say like, oh, well, it's just an easy, change this 1 to a 0 somewhere in the
Yeah,
code, and then now the smokes are fixed, right? I also obviously have no deep-seated information about the inner workings of Activision Blizzard.
yeah,
So who knows what they're working on? I am trying to have faith in the company, faith in the people, and whatnot.
yeah. So on
But
that point
again,
right there,
intended, right? Like,
yeah.
or
So
sorry,
on
go
that
ahead.
point right there, like I may be a little bit harsh on developers, but I definitely think that one of the things that you should do when you do criticize these developers is add in some kind of fix or some kind of reasonable,
Solution.
solution to it.
Hmm.
Um, one of the
Otherwise,
things
you're just
that
complaining, right?
exactly. So I
Yeah,
had an
I'm with it.
opportunity several years ago. I was actually a part of the EA Game Changers, and I've been to the Dice LA offices as well as the Dice Sweden offices on doing just that, giving
Hmm.
feedback to the developers. So I've actually seen it from their point of view in a way, as to some of the feedback that they get, and they kind of explained like how hard it is to make some of those changes.
Hmm.
And obviously it changes from game to game. Every game is built on a different engine, so it's built a little bit differently. But yeah, I mean, the developers, yes, I do think that you have to give them some leeway, absolutely. But then again, you do have to hold their feet to the fire, because if you don't,
Yeah, yeah.
then the
AAA
next thing you
developer, by the
know,
way.
they're kind of just going off doing their thing. Maybe they find something else about the game that tickles their fancy a little bit more, and they try to make
Hmm.
that better. But in the long run, it makes the game a little bit worse. But yeah, I mean, for this game right here, I think both teams are ready for it. Everybody's been practicing with all the glitches and the little bumps that we had here and there. But overall, I think we're going to be seeing a good match tonight. I think we got a good lineup of maps. We got some good teams that we're going to be watching here. So definitely looking forward to our first map. Hopefully it's going to get started here pretty soon. But
Yeah, at the end of the day,
oh
the
no.
standard. Yeah. As you guys can hear our producer, we can, of course. Kind of comical. I guess we won't loud him out too much, but a player ended up actually having a roommate, we'll say, of sorts, knock the cord, knock out the wall, reset the old PC or console that he's gaming on. So he will be back in just a second. I think we'll be back in just a second, Brett.
Yeah, sure. We can take a
We're
break.
gonna start right now. We'll take a very short break, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back with you guys. K7 League preseason hype battle starts in just a couple minutes.
All right, guys. So it looks like we are back, and hopefully we're going to be getting on into this next map here very, very soon. Once again, if you are just joining us, this is K7 League hype match, hyped esports versus oh my god, I already forgot the other name. Valiant Gaming. That's going to happen a couple of times, guys. Just going to let you know until maybe map number 2. But
All gravy. I'm terrible with names as well, man.
But yeah, we're going to be getting started here on Moscow now. Out of these two teams, Tuck, have you actually seen either of them play?
Let's see. Unless I'm wrong, Valiant playing with a roster that got completely solidified, I believe 2 weeks ago or so. A little bit before Cup stuff, not 100% sure. Hyped esports, seen individual players before, but I do not believe I've casted this quad team, this foursome before, specifically like these 4 players before. But again, just running through players here. Hyped esports, Oni, Aori, Relidify, and Diggs. Yes, they said Aori was fine for Rincities. It's Hyped esports on the left. Valiant Gaming on the right. Joe, Scythe, Zapiro, and Greasy Mullet. Players' names on Twitter are just a little bit different, but we're getting it started here. CDL Hardpoint starts right now in Moscow.
And we are going to be seeing that first action coming down. Nice little pickup. Going to be going over to Valiant Gaming first, though, as they are going to be able to get that initial control of the hard point. You can see him now looking over there towards escalators, and that is going to be Diggs getting picked up. So nice little pickup on a couple of seconds there into the first hard point. But I think we all know that first hard point, really, you're not trying to get too much time in there. You're just kind of vying for position in the very next hard point when it pops.
Exactly. Yeah, it's all about positioning on that next. Take what advantage that you can, but given that this is in the middle, nobody's going to ever really spawn too far away to this one, except when you're talking close to the A site. Now, back and forth we go. Valiant Gaming and Height pretty much even. Now with the second more, Valiant will be completely even, and looking to the future on the second hard point will be the focus of these teams. A little bit of longer range shots there, as a few going to fall to a long range headshot on that. Now looking towards the streets, and it's going to go down here. Greasy Mullet putting one down outside, holding down in that lane on the outside.
Yeah, I think the important part, though, is that we are going to be seeing Hyped Esports playing in for those spawns. So they are going to be able to get that back part of P2 and try and wiggle their way back into the point itself. So if they can get those kills, which they just did, and start getting that time right now, they should be just fine. So that was a really good play for them. Initially, yes, they were going to be losing out that time on the hard point, but in the end, it's all going to pay off. They have control of it. And I like what Greasy Mullet was going to be doing there. He's just going to try and fly out, maybe catch somebody off on the flank here. That's going to be potentially coming in, and that's going to be Joe, as we'll be able to pick up at least one. But yeah, they didn't hold on for too long. Looks like we are going to be seeing another rotation coming back in, as that is going to be number 4, Diggs, who is way in the back, and he's going to be trying to set up for P3. So I really like the rotations early on coming out for Hyped Esports.
Diggs looks like, yeah, he took one down, not going to get more done against at least a trio of players on the backside there after one did fall. 52-32 is Valiant's all over third one. And man, this corridor right here is just so beats. It really is in a lot of ways why I think they don't play more control on Moscow. That simple walkway area right here.
Yeah, it's this position is brutal for Control Moscow. That is for sure. But yeah, we are going to be seeing Height coming away with the hard point here, and they are going to be able to take the lead as well. So Valiant Gaming struggling to try and keep control of this match, and you do see him trying to break on through here. We'll be able to get an initial couple of seconds, but that high ground right there, that was a trade actually going down. And oh, look at Diggs coming around the side, picks up 2, and he will be able to get that final time there in P3 as we head over to P4, which will be in Valiant's control from the start.
Yeah, Graves, that's what he's digging. I'm not sure. Nice little 2-piece there to take over the last, 15 seconds or so on there. They are going to stay in until the very last. That's Hyped Esports. Moving on outside, and we're looking to the streets again. We see the trio of blue players kind of covering the middle here, but first, Anchor, that's Relidify, is going to fall. Zabio's going to be one putting him down and doing a great job of maintaining this outside, but Hyped Esports now coming through the middle, takes out one to start this. Oni gets this bloodshed going. 2-piece now for Valiant. Looking through window, and Zapio has his number.
Yeah, Zapio's looking really good right now. He's 8-4, and he's going to be hiding back behind that body. They're just trying to lock down that position, making sure that they are going to be able to get as much time as possible. But it's going to be a little bit contested by none other than Diggs. By the way, 12-4, looking fantastic here in terms of kills. So he's doing it all right now, getting time, getting contesting, as well as getting those kills. And, you know, Valiant still going to be staying in this game. You know, we by no means saw Hyped getting a very big lead in that instance. And, you know, as we set up for basically resetting here on P1, it is going to be interesting, but Rincities comes around the backside, only able to take down one, but it was enough. His teammate Diggs, once again, will be able to get another kill. So early control in the middle of the map. We'll be going over here towards Hyped.
Yeah, this shiny 74 for Diggs really showing out. He's showing what he can do with it. Now only about 30-35 points separate these two teams, but so far, Brett, it's been a story of outliers. Speaking of outliers, Oni 12-4, Diggs 13-6. Other side, big numbers from what? Joe is positive, but Zapio is really the outlier. They're 11-7 on the other side of that outlier table. 2-12, 6-12. Not going to be gravy for Scythe and Greasy Mullet, respectively. Really going to have to come through here, get a little bit more slays. Now they have plenty of time on. 36 seconds for Scythe, so still pulling his weight, but much better is Joe with the 13-12, 35 seconds.
Yeah, we do see Diggs once again picked up 2 kills on another rotation, so still looking really good. But once again, it's going to be Hyped. It's going to be number 2. as he's already up top. He is going to be looking over that second hard point position, and this is going to be a very hard position to rip him off of. We do see a big push coming in for Valiant Gaming, and that's not the best area to try and make this break. It doesn't look like it's going to be successful here. Greasy Mullet, the last one left, and he's trying to fight that with an AK-74U, and I don't know if that's the best thing to do. It is good at range, but I don't know if it's that good.
Yeah.
And Diggs slides in by the tree, picks him up, and that is going to be a very clean sweep right there. They keep on pushing here through this section. Only one player, I think, went up through mid, but oh, there's some spawns there into the back. Might be able to get some scrap time here, but that was very sloppy to try and break through that one position.
Yeah, Scythe had the right idea coming through. I believe he was with Zapio as well to provide pressure from different sides, but Hyped Esports has really pulled away on this last hard point after an absolutely oppressive setup. Again, right there, they knew that they could just force players coming through doorway, or at least force a longer rotation that's simply going to take time.
Absolutely, and I love the setup that's going to be coming in here from Hyped. They're already cutting off those reinforcements to try and come back around. Now, Valiant is doing exactly what they need to. They're trying to get those back spawns. They're trying to force out Hyped, but right now they're just not winning gunfights, and that's what it's come down to. Joe, though, proving me wrong, is finally going to be able to get up onto the hard points. The first time that they touched that in 30 seconds, so we'll be able to get a little bit of time, but can his teammates actually come in to help them? I don't think they are. Scythe is going to be the lone man that's left up and alive, and maybe he can turn it on as he picks up two, almost the third, just a little bit off. But that is going to be, once again, Hype taking control of that point. Now we're getting into scary territory. Once we hit that 200 mark, it's going to be very tough for Valiant to make a comeback.
It really, really is. 100-point difference, always going to be tough. Scythe came in that last, I think 3 and 19, maybe 4 and 19. Got a triple right there, cutting him down indeed, if you'll forgive the pun. Now, Hyped Esports on the hunt again. Valiant is there, but Hyped has had no problems cracking these defensive holds thus far. We'll see what Diggs does as some longer-range shots lobbed, but again, AK-74, so perhaps that's another theme of this matchup so far. AK-74, fantastic weapon, Brett. Simply not going to get it done at distance.
Yeah, that you're absolutely right. You know, we've seen since the AK has been banned, we've kind of seen a switch out to going in for the XM4, as well as looking over here at the Krieg. It's kind of been switching back and forth between those two guns. Looks like teams are settling in on the Krieg, though, back once again that we saw at the very beginning of the season. But yeah, some really fantastic plays coming in. We do see Valiant, though. This is the second time they've done this, where they get the majority of the hill time here on P4. We do see him setting up, trying to set up there for looks like P1 did get a couple of kills there, so they may try and make this look a little bit more competitive if maybe they can get some good hill time here on 1.
Yeah, to be honest, this is exactly what Valiant needs. Now, so, okay, come out, challenge it, why not? At that distance, 74 will get it done, I promise, but not necessarily lucky. Definitely a skillful play outside, and just like that, spawns for Hyped Esports cracked across the top, middle, and bottom here. Relidify outside by Streets, that's number 2. So he's trying to provide some pressure inside, but Hyped Esports has players on point. Nobody's getting anything from these.
Yeah, it's, you know, right now, this is exactly what Hyped would be looking for in P1. Just going to go ahead and get the congestion. If they get some points, great. If they don't, not really going to be a big deal. They're looking for that P2 section setup, and they are going to be able to have it here in 19 seconds as we do see those respawns coming back in for Valiant all the way in the back over there towards Bus. Now, we do see another wraparound potentially here for Zafoy and Greasy Mullet. So that will be an opportunity for them to get back into it, because a good 60-second hold on this hill, and they are in this match once again. So we'll see if that's going to be the case. But Diggs, with a great setup, will be able to get that first initial kill. Does get taken down himself, but they do have control. Oh no, they don't. They don't have control of the Overlook. They get wiped out, and this is what I was talking about. Valiant comes in. They get an early break. They've got to stay alive though. Make sure that they keep these spawns, keep on that hill. They're getting close to being back in this game.
Yeah, Scythe, really good lob on this one. This is exactly what they needed again. Valiant has taken the absolute lion's share and roaring while they're at it from P4 now into this next, but what, 12 seconds, 14 seconds for Hyped Esports. There's 20 left on this one. About 10 more. Greasy coming in, trying to give him a haircut, gets taken down himself. Now 9 seconds left. Hype can still take this, but they are so far spawned away, not going to be worth it. And Valiant realizes that, turns tail, tries to get to this next one. They're not going to be able to give up very much time. It's about 5 seconds to get to next point. And oh man, we're back to this one. We know what we can do here.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be some fireworks initially as they're gonna try and push on in. Diggs gets that first kill. We'll be able to get a second kill as well. Looking for the third onto Joe, and Joe is gonna get pinched from both sides, but Joe wins the fight with 6 seconds left to go. Valiant has gotten onto the point. They got to get the spawns though into the back, and they are able to control it for the time being.
Yes, that is fantastic. Now, Hype Esports got a spawn that was not too far by any means. Now, this Hardpoint cannot spell the end of the game for Valiant, but only 6 seconds for Hype as they come in. Trades happening all over the place, but Valiant players finding headshots and more. Scythe looking for the next and takes them down. The burst fire Diamante getting it done. Damage and everything. Fantastic stuff. Valiant still holding on.
Yes, they are. 12 seconds left, though, and we are down just for the last few. Can't make it happen. And that is going to be a very exciting last Hardpoint. Better than what we thought it was going to be, but wow, is absolutely right. And you can see Diggs here doing some work, as he was the whole entire game. Diggs was really doing it all. He was getting the time, getting the kills, and you can see right there, picking up 3 in P3. So, you know, honestly, that was fantastic fight there from Valiant, not giving up. At one point, they were down by more than 100 points. So, I mean, just think about that. They were like 120 points down, able to soar on back, get up there into that 200-point mark. That was a hell of a lot better than what we saw at the very beginning of the game. I think if we see Valiant hanging on to that, I think they're going to be really, really good here in these next couple of maps.
The simple fact of holding on there when they're down by 100 or so, this was, just need to put this in context for everybody here, right? We were looking towards our, you know, end of second rotation, right? Towards the beginning of the third, and actually, no, third and fourth, excuse me. But anyway, point is, down by 100 points more, and then 2 hard points separate a Valiant Gaming squad that comes back and just absolutely takes a huge segment of multiple different hard points on here, and then have just an absolute last stand here on a point that is famously, like literally famously hard to break here for our Cold War game now. We mentioned this while we were casting, right? This entire reason why Control is not played so much on Moscow, it really is because of that one little walkway area. And I told you I'm bad with names. I cannot remember. There's a name for that walkway area right there as you're coming on into that 1A control site. Cannot remember, but everybody should know what I'm talking about. 250 to 228, I believe, for Hyped Esports at a matchup that was looking very one-sided until the last hard points.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, like I said before, if they can kind of keep that up, we saw, what was it? What was his name? He was Scythe. You know, we saw him really struggling there at the very beginning of the hard point. You know, if we see him maybe picking up in terms of kills into the next respawn, which is going to be on Control, maybe they have a little bit better, because once he started getting those kills, they started doing a lot better. You know, once Scythe started kind of winning more of his gunfights, obviously in a shooter, you need to win gunfights, right? I mean, it just kind of makes sense. It's not necessarily the team that can kill the most wins the most, but it definitely does help in your pursuit of that W. So yeah, if he can start stepping up and at the very least, you know, trading out evenly, I think that they are going to be much better moving on into these next couple of rounds. Our next map though, will be on Raid S&D. So what are you thinking, man?
I am thinking that our first match was very close, very hyped, and very fast. I think the Search and Destroy, though, on this raid map, going to be a little bit slower, not going to see the same just electrifying start-up pace for both of these teams. Now, I can imagine it ending very quickly, but starting off definitely towards the middle, like the big meat of this map. Then in the end, yes, maybe. Or yes, it's going to be slower. Excuse me. The beginning might be a little bit faster. Teams gonna kind of feel each other out, right? These two game types are very different.
Yeah, well, the last time that I predicted that we were going to be seeing a somewhat slow-paced S&D, we saw Purge Nation just go 8 shit crazy on checkmate. I mean, it was just ridiculous. 6-1, and they were just flying over the map. I think we saw one plant the entire time. So it was
Wow.
ridiculous. So yeah, it was ridiculous. So I don't know if we're gonna be seeing that on Raid. Again, this is the first time that I've actually cast a match on Raid SND. So I'm kind of looking forward to how it's gonna be playing out, how these teams are gonna be playing it overall. But it definitely should be a good one. I am hoping that we see a round 11 out of this. Not too sure, but I think we're gonna have to look at some of those players like Diggs. Diggs was really good with that AK-74, running around, snapping up a lot of those kills. You know, if he can, you know, especially if they get those first bloods, if he can kind of convert those into 1 and 2, maybe even a 3 kills, then this is going to be really ugly, really fast. And that's what he was doing in that hard point. He was able to convert multiple kills in one life. So if you can do that, that is going to be a massive advantage, obviously, in a mode that gives you only 1 life per round.
Exactly. The electrifying gameplay from him, if he can make that 74 sing again, you can definitely see that happening. Shout out to DropShot Data, their stats presenting our team sheets there. That was Hyped Esports just flapped on up there. Now, the map awareness that Diggs had here as well, even in this play of the game, that POTG there towards the end, we see this guy jump down next to the bench like he wants to sit on the ground or something like that instead of sitting on a bench, and then just shoots literally under the legs of this bench to get the second, and then looks to his right to start up a third. Crazy stuff, fantastic stuff. Now, Garrison and the kind of those angles, I think that might be a little bit more of an effect, but we do have to get to that map first. Again, that was 250, 228 or so for Hyped Esports after Valiant. Came back, just, again, really courageous push, down by 100 plus, 2-3 hard points before the game ends. Great to stick on with that.
And I think one of the things that you're going to have to really look forward to in this next map is something that you mentioned before, was the game awareness, right? The game knowledge and the thought that went behind a lot of those moves that we saw in the hardpoint match. I think that's really going to have a massive effect here. Obviously, in S&D, shot calling is important. So whoever was doing the shot calling, I think for Hyped, they were doing a really good job. And I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to be calling out here in this map.
Agreed. Yes. So Raid, obviously not a new map to this Call of Duty Cold War, but it is updated. Not everything is the exact same from previous maps. I think it is. It says a lot though that we chose to go back and Activision, the CDL chose to go back and kind of reinstate this. Oh my goodness, Joe, starting off with a snapper here. A little headshot action is now the teams are tied now. That's what I'm trying to say. A lot of alliteration, a lot of T's there. Scythe down, Relidified down, 3v3 versus between Hyped and Valiant.
Yeah, and unfortunately, they weren't able to convert that initial shot into more. You know, as soon as you get that trade out there on your teammate, it kind of loses the effect of that first blood. But Joe is still going to be up and looking around with that sniper rifle. Looks like we are going to be seeing an A rotation coming on in, as they should be ready for this. I think they're set up really nicely here. Joe will be able to spot this out. Oni's going to try and make his way up. And we do see the bomb carrier following closely behind, but 37 seconds, still plenty of time on the clock here to make a move. And as soon as we do see a call out coming on in, as soon as this bomb goes down, you are going to be seeing number 7 there making his way to try and help with those reinforcements. And it does look like maybe a little bit of a fight there into the middle of the map.
Yeah, that was Joe trying to provide that overwatch. Again, an even trade. So this has just been literally no team fighting an advantage really at all until Valiant loses their third. Looking outside, shoots at the knees, does not connect. Hyped Esports taking round number 1.
Yeah, that was a shame right there. I really thought that that setup, especially with Joe, was going to be able to spot that maybe a little bit faster than what he did. But not going to be the case. He does end up allowing that plant. I'm sorry, not him, but the team ends up allowing that plant, and they do end up getting taken out there in the middle of the map. So switching sides, we are going to be seeing, I believe it's going to be Valiant now with their hands on the bomb. And what exactly are they going to be doing here? Going to B, going to A? Looks like they are going to be going over to B. A big push to B.
Yeah, a huge push on over towards B side. A is just a little bit more open, and Greasy Mullet popping off here through the smoke, through the fire and the flames and everything more. Just like that, Valiant looking at a solid round. Headshot coming out here, so I believe that's solidified now with that sniper rifle in hand. Marksman duties taken by him. Diggs takes a shot to the back. It's a little bit more, tries to spin around the middle. Rotations coming through. Not for him, though. Valiant Gaming striking back. Round number 2 to tie it up 1-1.
Yeah, that was a bit messy, I would have to say, wait, that was just... Diggs was kind of in a weird spot. I mean, he came all the way up behind him. You'd think he'd be able to get, more picks than what he did, but the other team, actually Valiant was planting from the other side of the bomb. That's why I think it was Zephora ended up dying, was because he was on the other side of the bomb instead of on their own side. But either way, it worked out. Valiant was able to get those frags, pick them all up, and we're going to be seeing it tied up 1-1. All right, so it does look like we are going to be seeing right now Zephora looking for the cover over here onto that B side. We are going to be having Hyped Esports maybe going over here to another B push, as A did not look like it was going to be happening there for him. And it does seem like that first kill is going to be happening here for Zephora, as they are going to be making their way on top of that B position. There's the plant going to be going down. Still man advantage over here for Hyped. It looks like they are going to be evening it up, but with that bomb down, it's going to be much harder for Valiant to make their way in here. Joe, with that sniper, once again, he's going to be looking out for these outliers, and we'll be able to find one nice little pickup. Looking for number 2. Can he actually... Oh, he's going to get the stun on him. That's some information. He knows he's going to be over there. Tries to go in for the little flank. A little bit late there. Oh, the call out happened. Scythe not able to make it happen, and Joe comes up, will be able to get the kill. And can he get there in time for the defuse? Yes, he does. Oh, that is a shame. That is a shame right there.
Yeah, so looking at Joe here, impressive stuff. The simple fact is, started with a sniper, this would not have happened, Brett. This was going to be impossible, basically, had he not picked up his fallen teammates or opponents' secondary weapon there, right? I don't think this one was going to be possible with a pistol or with a snapshot. Very close. Now, I'm not doubting the man's capabilities. I'm just simply talking about the odds on paper, how likely it is to beat a sniper rifle, or to beat an AR or an SMG up close when you have that sniper rifle. I like what both teams are doing, pulling out the snipe so far. I believe that we've seen players even pick up sniper rifle from a deceased opponent and then find value with it, so that's going to be huge stuff. Everybody here looking either a kill away from even if they're not even, right? I guess except for, of course, with Zapio at 4 and 2. Now, starting this one off again, little headshot action. That's Renicities, also known as Aori.
Yes. Having other names that are not up on the board. Not confusing at all.
You're right, actually. We'll just call him Rin from now on. How about that?
So, yeah, we are going to be seeing right now Valiant down a player once again. And yeah, it's been fairly back and forth so far. Both teams are going to be trading out these rounds. We do see a 4 versus 2 now, as Valiant loses their second player, possibly a third. They do. This is going to be Hyped Esports unless Scythe can pull out some kind of miracle here, as he is going to be in a 1v4 situation, and that's just not going to happen there. So 2-2, even it up once again.
Yeah, running through scores here for you, Brett, and the good people. We saw Hyped Esports take the first round. Valiant Gaming striking back 1 round into 2. So an offense and a defense. Hyped Esports coming back. Round number 4, tying it up.
Oh,
Very
man,
even match, just like we saw on the hardpoint, right?
That COD timing right there, man. If Scythe would have just kept on shooting, he might have been able to get 2 there. That would have opened it up there in the middle. It could have happened.
I didn't say it.
Oh, not to be. So yeah, we are going to be swapping sides. Hype now with the bomb, and they are once again going to be going over here to B, but it's not going to be as heavy on B as we did see last time. They're going to be kind of spreading it out a little bit, get some mid control there. That's going to be Diggs, number 4 there on your screen with that AK-74, and Joe once again with the snipe, but he's not going to be able to hit it. Instead, Hype picks up 2 real quick, and this could be the first kind of advantage that we're going to be seeing going into the next round, as Hype might be able to take 2 in a row.
Yeah, Oni looking at what I think it said 6-2, 6-3. Big stuff from this player. Now my question to you here, Brett, is at what point, if you're Joe, do you simply abandon the sniper?
Well, I mean, has Joe really been doing all that bad with the sniper? Like, I mean, he's been
at
getting
the end of the day,
when
if his teammates are gonna fall, and then he's left in situations where he's got to scavenge for something. He's got to. If he doesn't, he's dead. He's almost guaranteed to die. That's just putting yourself in a bad situation, right? Yes, Joe is 3 and 4. Not saying that's bad stuff by any means. He's got some objective stuff as well. But when you're talking about the odds drawn down and what on paper makes sense, I feel like at a certain that's my question. At what point do you advance? I'm not saying you need to right now. I'm not saying this round, but at what point?
I think if they go down one more
thanks,
round,
Joe,
they
never
absolutely
mind.
do.
Literally, I finished my statement. Man gets a kill. Excuse me.
Yep. So we are going to be seeing Oni also going to be able to pick up a kill as well. So we're all tied up once again, as Oni is going to be setting on back. They know where the bomb is going to be at, and it is going to be over there towards that Bravo side of the map. We did see a little bit of a flank going down though, and that's going to be, who is that? Diggs picking up 2, and that is a dagger in the back right here potentially for Valiant on this 6th round, as Diggs is going to be looking for it, man. He's wanting it so bad. Is this possibly an ace? I think this is an ace. I believe that's an ace, as Diggs picks up all 4 kills there, and that has got to be feeling pretty good. 4-2 as they go up in this series.
What a madman. This started out even Stevens, Hype eSports taking 1, Valiant striking back, and then Valiant taking the lead 2-1. Hype eSports has been on a run since Valiant scored their 2nd point. Now 4-2. Things looking pretty good for them. 6-2 Diggs, 5-3 Ren, 3-4 Relidify, only player not positive. Oni 7-3, more than doubling up.
Yes, they are. And at this point, I would put away the sniper. So yeah.
Yes, finally, there you go. My point proven.
We need to, and Joe does end up getting taken down right away, so he's not going to be able to be much very effective here in this round. And Scythe is also going to be picked up, and this is right now Hype is feeling it. They are getting all the long range AR shots. This is looking so good there for them, and we are going to be seeing, I think, another round going their way. Zapio is all the way into the back. I don't know if they know he's here. They do now. I think they just got the information. He does, but he wins out the fight. So this is going to be a good start here. So 1 versus 2, very doable. And he's going to be up top here. I don't think he heard the player down below. And he's going to be able to spot him. Not going to happen there.
Well, taking down by the Pistola. Hyped eSports on a solid run. I think that's 4 games. Now, this is mega random, Brett, so you'll excuse me. But was it you who tweeted about how the house on this map makes no sense? Like the abode, the residence. If you think about it, it really doesn't make any sense. Like you have like this pool out to the side, and then just like a single 1 bedroom like above with nothing else in there. And then the other part, the other house is literally just some like almost like loft area above a garage, and then a walkway. Like right, a huge garage, a garage that's like 3 times the size of like any place you'd call a bedroom or whatever, right? Like. Well, it doesn't make any sense.
When you have as much cocaine as they have, you probably aren't going to be making too many good decisions. But, you know,
or sleeping a lot either, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and that also leads to bad decisions. But we are going to be seeing Hyped here, tying it up 2-2. Immediately, though, we do see Joe going down, and that's going to be a snipe here to take him out. So Scythe is once again in a 1v2 situation we've seen here before. And this is going to be a rough spot for him to be in. He does have the bomb in hand, so at the very least, he's not going to have to hunt that down. But he is going onto the side of the map that we are going to be seeing Hype Sports looking.
Yeah, he's got to have known that Hype has spent so much time over here. He's got to have known also that Joe had that sniper, so the long range capabilities are going to be there. But now closing the distance here, I like what I'm seeing. Scythe coming in, cutting down 1, looking for the second, gets caught up in a corner, but can't take out the last. Pistola again as Hyped eSports takes round 5 and 6 in individual 1v1s that are won with pistols. Maybe a little bit of disrespect added on the top there.
Yeah, that was a shame there. We would have liked to have seen him maybe pull that out, extend that series just a little bit longer. But man, I'm telling you, these S&Ds have been going fast, and well, that right there just proved it. So Valiant Gaming is going to fall to Hyped eSports once again. This might be a short series here. Are we going to be seeing maybe a three map comeback? I don't know, but yeah, that S&D didn't look good at all. I think what we were talking about before there for the hard point definitely applied here for the S&D. The kills were on point. We saw Diggs doing a fantastic job of getting those multiple kills. He went on several flanks that were extremely effective. And maybe Raid is just not practiced enough right there for Valiant. I mean, yes, it's an old map, but I mean, not everybody has played Black Ops 2, you know, aghast. I know that's crazy to think, but
blasphemy.
You know, hey, look, even I didn't play Black Ops 2. So I'm going to admit I didn't play Black Ops 2 either. So, hey, that's just one thing that I can just shock people with. But anyways, it's not the most played map for a lot of the players that are going to be playing in a competitive setting here these days. So yeah, definitely Valiant needs a little bit more work on there, maybe a little bit more work on the shot calling or the initial setups rather, because they did let a lot of flanks kind of slip through and get back behind them. We saw them kind of maybe some angles that would, I don't know. I don't want to seem obvious, but obviously for us looking down at them, we say it's obvious. But as a player, anybody who's played, will say, it's not that obvious. But
we have the X-ray vision at the end of the day. What I want to point out is the difference here. I'm sorry, were you done?
I was just gonna say I think the momentum is what really played a really good role in that second map.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, I can definitely agree. Now, in this second map, the Search and Destroy here on Raid, 6-2 is the finishing score line. I really feel like this was a story of two different games. This is the rounds 1 through 5, and then a hyped esports squad that simply pulled away. Now, frequently when this happens, y'all, this is the result of communication that like identifies a problem. Hyped esports realizes something that they are doing wrong. Now, was that Joe with the sniper? Now, was that other players like Zapio just simply getting up close and personal with that close quarters combat and winning? Don't know. Who knows? We were not with Hyped esports communications at the time, but it simply looked like they communicated, figured out a problem, identified, and simply stopped it in its tracks because maps are around 6 through 8 were simply different, and it started that round number 5. They stopped going out, they stopped making kind of sillier decisions, more aggressive plays for no reason, and then went on absolute streak. After round 4, Valiant didn't put up 1. Now Control, back on over to Raid.
Yes, we are. And like I said, I haven't seen this one for Control at all. I haven't even played this for Control yet. So this is going to be all new to me and excited to see how this is going to be playing out. It does look like we are going to be seeing the majority of Valiant maybe heading over here towards that alpha position as we will be having that initial time going away for Hyped to try and get control of it. But immediately we'll be getting contested from both teams. And I can definitely see where this is just going to be a meat grinder here.
Scythe. Pulling out the pistol again, trying to get it done longer range, but like you said, this is going to be the meat grinder. We have, 6 respawns already done and dusted, but no real advantage either squad. 22 remaining against 23 remaining, as close as one gets. Now B is going to be the eye of affection for Valiant Gaming. Both squads have eyed A so far, but seems like Hyped is going to be allowed to take this one over for at least a little while. Now Valiant's going to respond to this one. Going from corner, Scythe plays something here and gets put down for it.
Yeah, that was Diggs once again. I mean, this is a very, very smart player, I think. Diggs, he's putting himself in a position that is going to be extremely impactful every single time. And you can see him picking up another one there from Spawn. And this is scary here. If they're able to pick up these kills off of Spawn, you got to watch out for your lives as well as the amount of time that's ticking away on the clock. So this is huge as we are going to be seeing that last and final tick going in for A point.
Scythe is trying to get there. Nope, Scythe does not get there in time. Does pick up himself a kill on the way in. If he hadn't responded, would have died. So that was it for B. That was done and dusted. Or that was it for A, excuse me, done and dusted. B is going to be where attack needs to go. And that's a solid way to start this one. Trades coming on from the side. Again, 12 and 12. This is even respawn-wise as it gets.
Yes, it is. And we are going to be seeing that extra time, though, on the clock. So we could be seeing the game slowing down quite a bit. I'm not sure if Hyped is going to be doing that, but Scythe is looking good actually on this game. He's 6-3. I think this is probably the best that we've seen him play. Make that 7-3. This is going to be able to pick up one more in mid, and I guess now he's starting to feel it. S&D wasn't his game mode, maybe a little bit rusty there on the initial map. But now Scythe is going to be able to pick up one more. Still going to be rocking it there in the middle. Finally does get taken down. But 5 respawns are going to be raining for both teams. So we are definitely going down here to the wire with absolutely no ticks on B for Hyped.
Yeah, so I'm kind of surprised that this middle part is still being played. It's a popular nightclub. You can't stay there long, though, I promise. Simply stay there long, you will get taken out. You're not going to have very many opportunities to stay in there and get that healing back. Just like that, Hyped eSports down to no respawns left. These 2 for Valiant could be a big deal after Dambro comes back. Long range shot, super long range, and only finds the head. Coming out, there's 2 players there. Yeah, Greasy Mullet and Co. Those companion there, not gonna matter. Yep.
Absolutely are important because I don't know if we mentioned this before, but the team with the least amount of deaths at the end of round number 4. So if it does go into a round number 5, the team with the least amount of deaths will get defense. And as you can just see there, defense has a pretty good advantage. Yep. It's not foolproof. Obviously, they can lose it. We saw Hyped Esports getting very close in terms of just kills, but you got to get that time on the board. And if these teams can really manage that those respawns, then going into that 5th round is going to be really key here. But I'm really curious to see if Valiant is going to be able to make anything here.
Ooh, longer range. So what I've seen so far is it seems that excuse me, Valiant is just simply doing a better job of doubling up on players when they need to be. This is eliminating opportunities for Hype to take in individual one-on-one situations and then get out alive, then get out with a life. Like they're going to have damage on the second player so far is really, really taking it to Hype Esports from Valiant Gaming. Now they need to continue on with this because again, this is best of 5. This is the control. Simply said, Hype Esports is far and away in the lead. 2-0, this is requiring a 3-map run is what I'm saying, everybody. Valiant Gaming definitely possible. The Cinderella run indeed is what will be required.
Yeah, with Hype right now, they can give up this control map. It's not really going to be that big of a deal, and they'll feel right at home on the Hardpoint. So it's really up to Valiant to try and make this one a banger. They really need the win, I think, with some gusto to go into map number 4 if they do, but they've got to get over this hump initially. But they did get that B point, which is going to help them out, extend that time just a bit. They are even on respawns here, so they have got to be loving that. And we'll see if they're going to be able to maybe cut off some of these reinforcements that are going to be coming up through mid. Nice little pickup there from Zapio. He does get taken down eventually, but just want to point out, Zapio, he's pulling even at the moment. Scythe is slightly positive. This is what we were talking about before, in the respawn for Hardpoint. If they were able to do that early on, they would have a little bit better of an opportunity of making a game of it. And that's what we're seeing right now. They're definitely looking a lot better, I would say, in this round of control than what they were previously.
Greasy Mullet, Eye of the Tiger, and yes, that is a band reference. Now, I love his frame of mind to simply stay at this sight line, keep it going, took the advantage, did get taken out afterwards, but you can't you can't predict those. That's COD timing, like you were saying earlier. A minute left on here as Ren's looking to the outside, is not able to, or his teammate, excuse me, is not able to hold on to that anchor position. 1 minute left. Valiant now pushing, his respawn is coming. That's 6 number Scythe moving through the middle. Is Greasy Mullet taking out a 3-piece, 15-7. He is far and away the highest positive player for Valiant. Big numbers for Scythe as well at 14-10.
Yes, they are. They're just about to secure their first tick into A, so that is going to be a huge win for them, but they really do need to be watching these respawns, and I think so far they've been doing a fantastic job of it. We are going to be having Joe here potentially with another one. That's going to be no respawns remaining there for Hype as 3 go down almost instantly. One guy is going to be set up inside the point, but they've already lost 2, and I think we can safely say that Valiant here has been able to really, really show up. That's going to be 2-0, and on an attacking round, no less.
Yeah, so coming on into this 3rd round, this is exactly what Valiant does. Not just to take this map, but they want to take this last round here and finish a control situation at 3-0. Really just come back and mentally put it back towards Hyped Esports. We'll see if they can get it done. It's a tall mountain ahead of them.
It is, but it's looking a little bit shorter as we're going through this map. I mean, they've got to be loving the fact that they just won an attack round, and they're potentially going to be winning this defense round. It's really going to be up to Hyped Esports to show that pressure that we saw in round number 1, but they need to actually get on the point. So we'll see if that's going to be the case here. Diggs is going to be all the way around here on B, trying to get a nice little flank. Not going to be possible as they are going in for that A point. So a little bit different than what we saw from Valiant. Valiant going over there towards B first. And Zapio is just lighting it up at the moment as he will be able to pick up that pistol kill. 13-10, looking fantastic. And yeah, on the other side of the board, they are struggling. Oni is struggling. We are going to be seeing Rincity struggling as well. But yeah, this is not looking good so far. 19-24 in terms of respawns in favor of Valiant.
Yeah, so I just got to point it out, right? Hyped Esports came through on the respawn game mode, did big things, came through on raid, did big things. Now that it's a respawn mode on raid, though, different story. Oh my goodness! I'm saying that Hype eSports is not playing so well. Diggs is not hearing any of that. If that's the case for his team, nobody told him. Progress now at A. As Diggs looking back out and around, continuing to get on this. They definitely need some more time before they move on into B. And yeah, the nade comes out. And actually, I think hits player and hits knocked off the side, so stun doesn't hit in time.
Well, you know, Diggs was the player really that shined in the hard point. He was shining there in the S&D. So if you got to think of a player that's going to have to try and get this team back on track, it's probably going to be Diggs. And he's trying all that he can. That is for sure. 15 and 18. He's been able to kind of even up those respawns that are going to be remaining. But we are going to be looking right now over there onto that B position. And Valiant right now is doing a fantastic job of holding on to it. You see a pickup there. That's going to be Joe being able to take one down there on the wide flank. We do see number 3, who is that? Rencities is actually in a position here maybe to clean up onto the B position. He's just kind of sitting in an awkward position, but nobody's checking him out. He's in money there, and yeah, he could cause a little bit of trouble as he is going to be initially going out through that window. But Zapio just turns around with that, burns him down with the pistol. It's like, what is that, man? Just pull out the pistol all the time.
Yeah, right. Like if you're able to do that with a pistola, I can only imagine what what might happen if this player switches on over to that SMG or something. Who knows? Scythe now getting it done, looking for 2, looking for a 30, knows it's there. 10 bullets in, chooses the time to reload. Not gonna feel the fire from that one. Looks to the right, and that is COD timing. It has decided how many one-on-ones now, Brett?
Dude, I don't know, man. It's too many to count. It's too many. Yeah, my finger. I don't have enough fingers.
Don't play by play. I don't have to do math.
Well, you never should do math on cast. That's for sure. 4 respawns to 8 here, as Valiant still going to be in the lead. We're not seeing a tick going into B just yet, though they're trying to get onto the clock to stop it. 26 seconds left, as Scythe is going to be slowly peeking over here, seeing to pick up anything with that AK-74. And it is going to be the pistol now going to be coming out. He will be able to connect with that shot. So they have been able to stop it still. So it's definitely not out of the realm here for a Hype. They're getting all into the point. The second tick is just about to go in. There it is. This might be an attack round going in for Hyped.
That's pretty close to B. There it goes. Hype now taking it. 1-2 scoreline on the control, striking back all the way through. So yes, it is easier on defense. That is the simple, plain truth, on paper, right? The on paper fact. But the also fact of the matter is the past 2 rounds have been attackers who have won. Wait,
yeah,
right? Because Valiant did on. Yep. Sorry.
Yep, past 2 attacking rounds have gone over there towards, toward the attackers. But
the attackers have won. Yeah, I get it. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty impressive to say the least. Like I said, I hadn't seen this map being played for Control yet, so this is all new to me. And I gotta say, it is a breath of fresh air if the attackers are going to having this much of a consistent win rate. I think that is something that we needed to see. Maybe some defense heavy, attack heavy maps going back and forth. So really nice. But right in here, out of the gate, we are going to be seeing everybody going over towards that A point. Diggs is going to go down. We see some nice shots there from Rencities. Once again, that long range potential coming out from the AK-74, and immediately you see Rencities starting to get aggressive. He's going to try and cut off these reinforcements that are going to be coming out from spawn, and they need to get out some really good kills, maybe take it to a map number 4. Again, we are on defense, so theoretically the advantage should be in their favor, but we'll see.
It comes through 23-22 respawn, for Hype against Valiant. Both of these squads, until the end of these rounds, have done a good job of keeping these numbers even. Just kind of simply, again, playing the on-paper numbers as evenly as one can. Now trying to respond over here towards A. 35 seconds or so for Valiant's attack. Again, they took a round last time on the attack. Scythe might have actually hit a teammate on that, but did not kill him. That's what's important. Back on over the Diamante. We've seen what he can do so far. Joe, back in the middle, holding angles and more. He's looking over towards teammates who would have had the information. Second tick now.
Yeah, once again, we are going to be seeing this long flank coming around. That is going to be Diggs. Once again, going to be making it. We'll be able to get at least one. Nope, he doesn't get the player off of respawn. That would have been nice. His teammate there, though, potentially there for the fix. And I think this might be a defensive round here, as it is going to be ticking down quite quickly. We do see an attack happening over here towards that Bravo point. But again, they haven't gotten any progress on it just yet. As Joe, not able to connect with the shots, pulls out that pistol. See if he can. He does. I don't know how he's hitting them with the pistol, but no.
Oh, no.
Come on, man. Why you pick out the AR? Well, we do see him taken down, though. And they did manage to get back onto A in that flurry of chaos. So the time is extended. But we really need to be paying attention to those respawns. 7-10 in favor of Hyped, as Valiant going to be making another attempt. But, man, that defense right there is looking pretty scary.
Really is. 50 seconds now. Hyped on the lead respawns-wise. Coming inside, Diggs gives business to one. The second, I could have sworn the second player was back. Oh, no, excuse me. Yeah, we're looking through x-rays here again. 35 seconds, longer range shots from Valiant. Doing a good job of evening these up, trying to get back through courts. Not going to happen so easily, though, as Zap now meets to try and provide that anchor position. A lot of pressure, getting up into money. That's Joe making it sing right here. If at first you don't succeed, try again. That's Scythe's motto on this one. Throws one into the trophy system and just tries again because it might work. I'm not sure.
Absolutely. So one respawn to 3 as Valiant has their last opportunity to try and make something happen here. They haven't gotten onto the B point just yet. We see a really good spread coming in here for Hyped eSports at the moment. There it is. They are going to be able to get a contestation, but just for a few moments. Now it's going to be all up to Zapio, as can he actually pull this off? He gets one kill. So he is going to be able to get onto the point potentially, but no, comes right out and will die. Unfortunately, not going to happen. So 2-2, evening it up as we go into game number 5. Wow, I'm just saying everything wrong except for round. I'm really curious, though. I'm pretty sure that we are going to be seeing Valiant getting control of the defensive side here.
Yes, because given they had fewer deaths. Shout out here. Got to give credit where it's due to Kamaka. I did not know about that. Very, very important piece of information now with our control map back in the CDL rotation. But yes, we are looking at oh my goodness, Hyped eSports on attack and Valiant on defense. Excuse me.
Yeah, he's not the only one messing up. Everybody's here messing up, but anyways, we do see an attack happening over towards that A point, and not a whole lot of defense actually, as that was a fairly wide spread that was going on there for Valiant. So they're actually giving up a lot of they actually give up A right from the get-go. Look at this, already onto the third tick, finally getting contested, but not enough. We see Oni going back and forth. He's going to be able to call out all of these positions, and yeah, that is probably the fastest that I've seen a point being taken over on any control map so far, as Diggs finally going to be able to get some kills there into the middle. But I mean, Valiant, what happened there? As
what I'm super confused about is that, like, you know, we see fast control points. That happens. We just hit 2 minutes, Brett. We just hit 2 minutes after the time was added. I have not seen a control point go that fast between two teams that have proven themselves to be very close contenders so far. Again, 250 to 230. Yes, it was 6-2, the search and destroy, but now a round number 5 is Hyped eSports coming through. Hey, there's our first kill streak. We knew, I was literally waiting at the end. I was going to bring up the fact that it was completely wrong. We didn't see a single kill streak, but yes, Tugboat cannot be right. There's the caster's curse all the way through. Artillery comes through, does get a single kill, no second advantage. Is Valiant now getting all over the Zapio. Really has been the man of the hour when it comes to control. 41-33 for Joe, been getting the slays out himself.
So right now we have seen a clear of the point. It looks like Zapio is going to be set up inside the bar and trying to get a couple of those frags. But
I feel that.
I think that I think at the moment right now we are seeing both of these teams kind of calming it down just a bit. Valiant maybe getting back into it after just Hyped rolled them there on that first initial point. But Hyped just not able to get to it here. They've died every single time they tried and crossed that imaginary line, and Valiant is doing a fantastic job here so far. This is going to be a minute they've ticked that's tick on by so far. Only one initial tick in B has actually been taken. As we do see Diggs, he is the flank master, and he's going to be able to pick up one. Will control it there for his team. And wow, Valiant is completely caught out of position, spawns on the other side of the map.
What?
This could be it. Second tick does end up going in. Greasy Mullet goes down. They're still having really good control here onto the point itself as Zapio is trying to do all that he can to contest, and he does! At the last second, they make it happen. It was so close for Hype, they could taste it, but Valiant just barely gets in.
Snatching victory from the jaws of defeat all the way through. This is a Valiant squad that stretched the fabric of time to get to this control point right when they needed to. The chronological resource was ticking down there. Yes, that's time, ladies and gentlemen. They did not have very much more of it. Only so much in the hourglass, and maybe that is a reference to overall life for all of us. But no more respawns left. 3 versus 3. Very even match. 20 seconds to go as Hyped Esports got a lot of progress very, very early. Pop up. Zap gets the business. That one Valiant player left. 10 seconds as Hyped Esports 2 members trying to flow on into point here, coming from court and trying to give him a service. Oh no! Hyped Esports jumping through the air, sending aerial shots and more to finish this one out. 3-0 fashion for Hyped Esports.
That is both satisfying and disappointing at the same time. Valiant making a valiant effort there towards the end. I mean, getting in just at the last second, getting those kills. It looked like it was all over for Hype, but Hype was like, hold on here, boys. We're going to make this a game. We're going to take it out in 3-0 fashion, and they did just that. That was beautiful play from them. They didn't lose their cool, and they just played it smooth all the way through. That was fantastic.
Yes, this last control round was marked by Hyped Esports coming through absolutely slapping Brett. A point went, again, about as fast as it goes. They take a respawn advantage as well. Flow on in about 90 seconds later onto other point. Valiant on a very, very long range flank. So long, it makes me wonder what they were doing in the time, but they got there in time, so that is all that matters. It's not stupid if it works, right, Brett? Valiant gets on in there the very last second, takes a couple kills, and it was beautiful stuff.
They did, but you know, how many lives did they lose in that process? And that's really what you kind of got to think about is what was the cost of going over there? Was it worth it? Well, at the end, it wasn't. Unfortunately, you know, they did end up getting caught in a really weird position, but you know, Hype, like I said, they were able to hold on just for that last second, but Hype did a very good job of keeping their cool. You know, they didn't try and push it too hard. They were able to get that man advantage, and that 2v1, were able to get that trade out there at the very last second. So props to them. And hey, that's the first time I think that I've seen a control end with an attacking round victory. So
yeah, so what?
Gotta love that.
3 of those 5 were attacking round victories, actually. Maybe that speaks to this raid map and really just maybe a little bit more about how more balanced it is. I think we're reaching towards the end here, but I wanted to ask if there was an opinion your side of what you could do control-wise for these other maps to maybe make defense just simply a little bit less one-sided.
Honestly, it's really predicated on, I think, getting smokes and streaks involved in the game. I do.
In control, okay.
Less streaks, more smoke. If they can fix the smoke, I think a lot of the issues that you're seeing will be fixed. Obviously, we don't want to be seeing 5 smokes on the map, but if we can reduce that down to like maybe 2 smokes, 2 players using smokes, then I think that opens it up quite a bit for a lot of those pushes, especially on maps like Garrison, where radar is super hard to get into. But if you can smoke off maybe some of those head glitches down range from the radar station, it's going to help you on getting into it, because you know, obviously your AR players aren't going to be able to just kind of wash you as you're trying to jump on in and whatnot. So gives an advantage there to your sub players. It locks down some lanes maybe that you didn't have before. But I think raid, from what we saw with these 2 teams, now obviously 2 different teams, it might be completely different and one-sided, and we've seen only defense win. But with these particular 2 teams, I think this map played very well. It had a more of a circular feel to it. And I think one of the things too is that we saw a lot more flanking on this map, a lot more flanking from both teams. Whether it worked or not, but both teams absolutely went for the flanking routes, and there was an opportunity for that to happen. And maybe that's the problem that we're seeing too, compounding with not having the smokes, is that a lot of these maps are very slim. They're very stretched out. So long lanes. Exactly. Yep. But yeah, both teams, I mean, they played fantastic. I think Valiant is just right on the cusp, man. I mean, they've got the potential. Obviously, they've got the potential. I think if we saw Scythe and I think it was Scythe and oh my gosh, I can't think of the second player right off the top of my head, but Zapio, yeah, Scythe and Zapio. I think if they have a better hard points, that we would have seen maybe a different game altogether, because the way they were playing at the end of that first hard point was just fantastic. So that possibly would have been a 1-2 going into map number 4 here instead of a 3-0. But yeah, Valiant is looking good. I think that a few little tweaks, a little bit more practice, especially on that S&D. They need that, but they look good. They look very good. In Hype eSports, man, you know, you got to give it to Diggs. Diggs, I mean, he was just a beast the whole entire time. I mean, just getting kill after kill. Not only that, but also doing the objective work.
Yeah, no, I'm 100% with it. At the end of the day, yes, this was a 3-0, Brett. The search and destroy wasn't close. It was 6-2. That's fair. Hype eSports really did very, very well right there. But the age-old adage about in your CODs, in the best of fives, if you can simply hold on to these search and destroys, all you gotta do is nab one of these respawn game modes. That is a situation we almost came down to. Brett was very, very serious. We could still be watching this game if a couple fingers things went differently in our game number 1, the hard point that went down 250-228, or the game number 3, the control, that went down to round number 5, 3-2 for Hyped Esports. With that, I believe we have reached my least favorite part of any cast, and that, of course, is the end. We now need to talk about the future as we have gotten through the action. January 14th. Yes, that is 2 days from now, 10 p.m. That's going to be our Thursday game. Finale Gaming taking on Swear Society for another preseason hype battle. 17th, that's Sunday. I'll be back for it. Rated Gold taking on Natural Talent. So K7 continuing to showcase what we got before this season 3 does start coming up into February. Now, Brett, do you have anything else for the good people before we give them out and say goodbye? Oh my goodness, how could I forget? How could I forget?
No, I mean, appreciate everybody for showing up and watching. Make sure you follow everybody that you just saw there on your screen, and props to the production there. You guys did a fantastic job as always. Yeah, take a look right there at your casters.
There you go,
And everybody here is going to be casting. So once we get this season kicking off, it is going to be amazing. I'm really excited to see some of the duos that are going to be paired up and going out here. As I'm hoping to cast with just about everybody there. I have cast with Kamaka and J-Fly and now you. So, I think you're maybe probably there at the bottom of the barrel a little bit. No, I'm just joking, man.
Yeah, that's fair. There's a reason why I'm on the bottom right here, Brett. There's a reason why you're directly above me. Okay, let's not make any questions. No questions in mind about that one. Nah, but on the real though, I think I have not. Yeah, I know I have not casted with Giraffe over here, top right, with the beautiful smile, little doggo action there in the bottom left. But every other one of these casters, I have had the absolute pleasure of talking, casting with. Shifty, Kyle, Corn, of course, and Trevor, casting many, many a times, and one guy, Seymour, and J-Fly, coming through and getting some solid casting. So I'm very excited for the season 3 and the continuous hype battles that'll be coming through here. We want to thank you, good people, for tuning in. I am FBI Tugboat. You can find me over on Twitter at FBI_Tugboat if my voice did not bother you. This is Brett over here. You can find him over there at BrettFX. Yes, that's BRETTFX. Shout outs to our sponsors, Get Good, Rogue Energy, Innovated Gear. Yes, that's our merch company. FORUMA Visuals, Global Graphic Design Action, DropShot Data, and Gamers Resort. Shout out to all of them. They do make this possible. Now we are going to go ahead and get out of here. Tell you guys a good night, and thank you for watching.
The cold nights just don't feel the same. Oh.